Hi, Genevieve. It's nice to see you too. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to to the Mary Beth Show. Welcome.
Happy New Year. It's all about
There
Mary Beth.
have been some slight changes since we started.
Welcome. Fired.
She is the silent part. No. Good morning. Welcome to Toad TV. I am Mary Beth.
She's going to the Met. How nice.
Very nice. I am Mary Beth.
I am Helen.
And we are the creative hands and minds behind Toad Hollow. And obviously, it's been a little while since we did this because things are not coming out the way they're supposed to. Anyhow, I'm just going to turn this a tiny little bit.
I'm pulling it up on my iPad so we can catch.
So hopefully it's a little bit more synced. I am having Red Zinger tea in our mug from Etsy that I absolutely adore. That if we weren't on a complete money spending ban, I would go in and get some for every season.
Yeah. I'm having I love lemon. Enjoying the Christmas mugs before they go away.
Yes, they're all going to get put away. So good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, actually. It is past 12. Happy New Year. I hope you guys all had a good holiday and good New Year's. Ours was quiet, very quiet, but it was nice.
Yes.
It was very nice. Yeah. Ah, my goodness. Happy 2024, and God, please let it be happy.
Yes.
Oh, April's here. Buttermint tea comfort forever. I have to say,
it is an amazing tea.
I'm not a big fan of mint, especially in, well, no, that's wrong. I love mint. Just not in my tea. However, the ones that, who sent them to us? From Maryland.
Aaron?
Aaron sent us from Maryland.
Yeah.
The one that was the chocolate and mint.
Yeah, that one. I had that one quite a bit.
Really, really, really good.
Do you need that? Because it is blowing right in my face.
No.
Okay.
I can also turn it so it's blowing right
That's
at
fine.
me.
That's fine too. It's a bit drafty in the castle this morning, so we have a supplemental heating unit going. But it's blowing hot air right in my face.
Right.
It's like sitting in the car with the vent blowing on your face.
Never good, because then you start getting, queasy. It is 34 degrees outside, which is just 5:30 this morning out with Drew. It was well low into the 20s. I put a bowl of water out, and by the time I went back out at like 6:15, it had already started freezing over.
I put it up in our Instagram stories, the picture of the ice over it.
Wrong. All right, a lot of early mornings these past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Drew is finding it harder and harder to make it through the night, so we are up anywhere from 3:30 to 6:30, mostly in and around 5.
She's usually
5:30.
5:30 right now. Yeah.
So fun days, let me tell you. No, that's just bleh. Anne says that it was 9 there this morning.
And I know you're not doing Celsius, so.
Okay, so today we thought we'd catch up a little bit, and then we thought we'd do our reading stats for the year because we have.
We were going to do our Christmas haul. I don't know whether, because Meredith was sending me down that rabbit hole last night.
Oh my word.
On TikTok, where you do Christmas hauls, where the infants show off their Christmas hauls, but they have to, with the qualification that they're totally blessed. And they've thanked everybody in person.
So grateful. So grateful for everything. And they realize that their parents have just totally
And Christmas
spoiled
is
them.
not only about presents.
But really it is. And then they take out their stockings, and one started with a $500 gift card to Starbucks.
Right.
She was the one that got the Cartier earrings too. They decided that they weren't going to give, the family wasn't going to give each other gifts that year, on Christmas, but her mother surprised her with a bag from Cartier. So, seriously, people, you can't even drive. Honestly, how do you even get to Starbucks to spend your $500 on your bike? No, probably the chauffeur.
I was going to say, really.
It's ridiculous. It really was kind of ridiculous. Anyway,
So I was gonna go through with our Christmas.
my Christmas haul of 5 gifts.
I got a puzzle.
Oh, wait, -27 next week? Oh, Yolanda's in
Yolanda's
Canada. Ugh, no, thank you.
Is that Celsius? That's got to be Celsius.
I really,
I
that's
know.
way too
It
cold.
doesn't matter. You put a negative in front of it. It doesn't matter whether you're Fahrenheit or Celsius.
Yeah, it's too cold. Too cold. Anyway, we had a very, very nice Christmas. We got lovely gifts. I did not get a $500 gift card to Starbucks, but that's fine.
I was looking for my Cartier bag, Mary Beth. But
I did get 24 books leading up to Christmas, so I'm really very happy.
and I can't do my Christmas haul until I go get my fancy manicure because
Oh.
I have to be able to show off my fancy manicure.
Yes. So, Amanda's got ties to the robin's egg blue. That's okay. We saw some that
she got 2 bags from Tiffany's this year.
Yeah, there was one that got 2 bags from Tiffany's. However,
She's the one with the multiple stockings. She gets her Santa Claus stocking, she gets her mother's stocking, she gets her stepfather's stocking, and she gets one from her father.
oh my God.
And I have to tell you, based on the Christmas haul videos, the beauty industry did very, very well this year.
My God.
Oh my God. I said to Mary
Charlotte
Beth,
Tilbury,
we do save so much money.
but not wearing any kind of makeup. Amanda says she thought we were talking about her. No, you don't get 6 stockings. I'm sorry.
Awkward and Crafty is waiting to see how much snow.
It
They
looks
get
like
things somewhere between 3 inches and 3 feet.
that's quite a difference. You know what? Honestly, that's just really quite a difference. But no, we got really lovely presents. And then we had Amanda came out on the 30th and we were putting together our reading journals and having a really lovely time sitting around the table and sharing ideas and sharing supplies. And Amanda, I ate my greens, so I got to open a new present. Sorry, I'm reaching. For my birthday, Helen gave me a box with cards in it, and there are different things that as I finish them, I get to open a little present. Most of them are, a sticker or a roll of stickers or that kind of thing, very small. But
She's so blessed.
I am. I get to open them for however long it takes for for me to finish all of them, like raking leaves and helping Helen plant bulbs. And since I have the taste palate of like a 5-year-old, eating my greens. So I ate my greens last night, and this is what I got, Amanda. Look at this. This is one of the washi tape. No, I see. Amanda says it's taken me 3 months to eat my greens. No, I got more than one to open when
I know my audience, and so
she gave me several different presents every time I eat my greens. However, Amanda, we made a pasta with a basil and tarragon pesto that has green beans, asparagus, and zucchini in it, and it was divine. It was so
really
so good.
yeah.
It's from Rachel Ray, but
and the pesto didn't have no garlic, right?
well, it did, but I used a teaspoon of garlic powder because we didn't have garlic.
Oh, okay, because it wasn't overly garlicky. Because pestos get
No,
too
and I
garlicky
put
for me.
lots and lots of green, like the basil and the tarragon. I put a
Yeah.
lot of that in there, but it was really, really good, really good. Everybody, including the mother, enjoyed it very much. So it was very,
That was
very
the
good.
shock.
Yeah. All right, so
As far as eating greens, I should give her a box.
But that's my new roll of tape that I get to play with. But what I was saying was Amanda came out and we had a lovely day just filling out our book journals for 2024. And it's going to be
And our
fun to
regular
fill things
journals,
out. Yeah. Okay, it is from,
I will put a link. I'll go get the link for. It's an Etsy shop,
it's Mood Tape.
but because they're really very fast shippers.
And I have opened, there have been a couple from that company that are just really different and unique and fun. They're really beautiful. So I've really enjoyed using them, and you will see. Let me see if I can grab it.
Because here's this book one. There's another one from them. Oh, really? Sorry. 19305. This whole new thing where we have to get a code to sign into things even after I give a password is
Here,
annoying.
I'll do this. Okay, so this is some of the book ones. Look at him on his book. I mean, it's beautiful. And this one, this is part of the same roll. So what I've been doing is, for my journal, I've been having a really good time using stickers in it. Like that. And for my book bracket, I use stickers all over the place for them, so it's really, really good. All right, so shall we break down reading this year?
Sure. Knit Pearl and Squirrel with Granny D says she loves collard greens with apple cider vinegar. She missed eating the traditional New Year's Day meal, which includes those.
Joanne, hello. It's very nice that you
Right.
caught us live. Okay.
Yolanda wants everything.
Yes, well, it's amazing.
Wait till you see the rubber stamps.
Okay, books. All right, so we thought we'd do our stats for the year, what has been our 5-star reads for the year, and what is our final best book of the year, which for both of us was kind of a shock. So
I have two because I have to qualify the one that turned out to be the best one.
So I think I'm going to have 2 also because mine is the same qualification.
Right.
But anyway, here we go. Over the year, I read 81 books. Now, I had set myself a goal of 100 books.
Sorry, you're just like this head.
Okay,
giving
I'm the
you a
talking
little-
the head.
I'm giving you a little bit of shoulders.
Okay, so I set myself a goal of 100 books. There's a new thing going around where I'm seeing a lot of people say that they set themselves a goal and then felt that they were listening to the books way too fast. If on their audibles they had it at 2 or 3 times the normal speed,
okay.
and they were skimming through the last few pages to try and get through. And their goal this year is not to read quite so many, but to slow down and enjoy them,
Okay.
and not worry about hitting a number more.
Well, as far as our goals are concerned, you will find out, felt the urge to meet my goal.
Right.
Since I didn't even come to half my goal. But I set the goal higher because I don't feel I read enough. I get distracted by my phone, the television,
Yeah.
other things, and I want to set the goal to read more. So that's why I put mine at a lofty.
Well, I put mine at like 100 because I read over 70 last year. I read 81 this year. So 100 gives me enough boxes to fill out. So
Yeah.
that when I'm filling out my pages ahead of time, because I've got some pages in here where I'm marking off for this year coming up. I have marked off okay. I'm going to color them in by genre. As I finish them, I'm going to color them in by genre so I can see what genre I'm reading a lot of. And then I have another one that I did that is star ratings. So I'm going to color them in by my star ratings to see what they are. But to know how many boxes to put on and how much space to put, I figure 100 is a nice round number, and if I meet it, I meet it. If I don't, I don't. But I don't think that I rushed through any of the books to the point where I missed something or I wish I
Right.
had. taken more time.
Yeah, and I didn't, try and take small books towards the end of the year to try and
Right.
go through.
Yeah.
So
Yes, April. I'm already prepped for the bookworm. April sent us, where's my phone? Okay. April sent us something on Instagram.
April is the great enabler. She's the one that got me going on the stockings that I did.
And,
She introduced us to Evil Queen candles.
which just came today, by the way. And,
April, it's good.
it's New Year's, but it's got cranberry and Prosecco. Okay, so she sent us this. And basically you crochet the head and then you crochet lines for his body for all the different genres that you do. For this person, they're doing a different color for each genre that they read. And every 101 or every 100 pages is a
Gets
line.
A certain amount, yeah. Of
So
rows.
that if you read a 400-page book, your bookworm gets 4 in that one. And then you have a bookworm when
That's your
you're done.
bookmark. So I'm toying with the idea of doing that, or I have the idea of knitting myself a book snake.
I think I'm going to do that. I think I may
Because
actually.
I really like the idea of having this great big huge long snake.
Yes.
I have a bunch of minis
Oh, we've got tons of
that I
minis.
can use to. I can be using the minis while I do it.
Right.
So I'm kind of thinking that my first book of the year gets the head because it was my first book of the year,
Okay.
and then I'll do different colors for each.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah. No, I think
and stuff as I go type of deal.
right. I think so. I think we may do that. We'll see how long we stay on this
Right.
wagon. But
It'll be easier because I don't read. It's not like I have to do it every day.
no. And if you're doing just
A couple rows.
a couple
per-
rows, and I mean, the bookworm is what, maybe 10 stitches, 15
Right.
stitches across. I can do that very quickly. So
If I'm doing the bookworm, then I think it'll be much easier. It's just the snake might be
yeah,
a little more.
you could crochet a snake and sew him up as you go along and stuff him.
Oh yeah, but then he gets very unwieldy.
Yeah, because crochet is bulkier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
a
he's
book
gonna be-
smart. A books. Okay. So awkward and crafty says a book scarf might be cool too.
Yeah.
That would
That
be
would be-
cool. This is my 2023 book scarf.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. I like that. Okay.
Carol says she saw a podcast where she color-coded genres with yarn, and for each book she read in a given genre, she crocheted a granny square. At the end of the year, she had a huge afghan. So that's an
Okay.
idea too.
That was Carla, not Carol.
Oh, sorry.
Carla. Okay. Anyway, back to this. So
So
I
lots
read,
of ideas.
yeah, I read 81 books last year.
Well, see, I need to go first because
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I read 45.
However, okay, how many pages did you read?
I read 14,871 pages.
I read 27,960 pages. This includes, when I'm doing the pages, this includes the listening as well, because I transferred it over to pages as far as how many pages would be in the book if I were reading the physical book.
Yeah.
This year, I am planning to keep track of the hours as well.
Well, Storygraph does that. 'Cause
Yes.
Storygraph, I read 100. I had 188 hours or something.
You actually listened to way more books than I did because I only listened to 108 hours.
Yeah, I did a lot of driving
Yeah.
in April.
Yes. And you did driving where you could listen at the end of March and beginning of April when we were
Yeah.
going back and forth to the hospital for our brother. I was mostly driving my mother so that we wouldn't listen to it, and Helen was listening. Okay.
Amanda says you read very fast. And then Awkward and Crafty says went to an author event and had the authors pick out a yarn color and knit block design. The intent was there, but lost all mojo to actually work on it.
Oh, that is a good
Yeah.
idea. I love the idea of the authors picking it out.
Yeah.
Except I would be afraid that they'd all pick like black. No, I'm sorry, that's not a color pick again.
Right. Okay. You may pick from these colors.
Yes. Okay, so I read,
I only DNF'd one book
I
all year, which
DNF'd
is really good.
4. I DNF'd 4. Um, I had a total of 40 physical books, 26 audibles, and 15 Kindle.
I was 24 physical, 4 Kindle, and 17 Audible.
So, wow, what did you listen to on Audible that made you so much more? Because I read 9 more than you did.
Yeah.
I didn't think I did very many that were light or that were, short. I did Arca.
I mean, it's not. Yeah, I mean, it's not like I did The Way of Kings or anything.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Okay.
Anne says she's not a big reader, but she did start the Cadillac Knot Ear Warmer with Maleficent Girls and just learned how to do brioche this morning. Oh.
Well, that's very good because
Yeah.
brioche is tough. Brioche is one that I'm not really fond of.
Is it 1-color brioche or 2-color brioche? Because the 1-color brioche that I did for the ear warmer, that was the ear warmer I did, is not hard. So.
Okay.
Like, I know that sounds familiar. That's because I knit it. So. I bet it looks really good. It's going to look really good in Maleficent Girls.
Oh, I'm doing socks in Maleficent Girls. I'm going to show them on Tuesday. They're really pretty. They're really, really pretty.
Are you?
Yes, I'm doing.
You chose them? Oh, okay.
I chose my socks. I did them in, we picked a sock pattern on Christmas Day, and I chose to do it in Maleficent Girls, and we're doing the For the Love of Joy socks by the Crazy Sock Lady.
I have not started mine yet because I'm finishing things before I can start new things.
Okay. We're going to have so much to show you.
Yeah,
on-
Tuesday's going to be a,
Yeah. Okay.
oh, she knit 2 of the Cadillac ear warmers for Christmas after seeing mine. They were well received. I wear mine all the time. Last night was actually the first night that I haven't worn it in a long time because it was just too damn cold. I needed the whole head.
The whole head. All right, so
Back to books.
Back to books. Here we go. I had, out of my 81, I had 22 that were 5-star books. I had 50. No, wait. Sorry. 46 that were 4-star and above, which I think is
okay.
really good. 46 out of 81. That's good that we're 4-star and above.
Yeah, I didn't go that far. I have my
Right. But you have your 5 stars.
I have 13 5-stars.
Okay. All right. So how do you want to do what we're doing? Do you want to do?
Well, we can. Do you want to list the 5-stars?
Sure.
Several of them are duplicates.
Right.
Okay. But
Okay.
we'll go back and forth on our list,
Yeah.
and then we can go into. I have 3 to mention as like in the favorites realm. So.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, since I read more, The Light from Uncommon Stars by Rika Aoki.
I love that book.
It's
I
a
read
really
it in
good book.
2022, so otherwise it would be on my list.
It was such a good book. I love that book so much. Okay, go ahead.
Beartown by Frederick Bachman.
That did not get 5 stars from me. I read it, but it did not get 5 stars.
I will not read the others in the series, but I gave it 5 stars because it was a very well written book that made me feel
Intensely.
a lot of things.
Anger. Very much so.
And I get angry at books because they're poorly written or they do stupid things, weird plot things or whatever like this. This was just, it was written so well that it just made me physically ill with how angry I got.
Yeah. That one made me angry.
Like smashing the patriarchy in a big way.
All right.
And will affect my viewing of team sports for a very, very long time to come.
Yeah. Especially
Male team sports.
and high school age.
Well,
That age.
but that at the high school, college too, because it's the same.
Yeah.
mentality of it being all about that.
Yeah.
And that is paramount to everything else. And that was like one of my first books that I read last year, and that's how well written it was that it's still with me
Yes.
a year later.
This is true. This is
Which is
very
why I
true.
got 5 stars.
Because I can remember, and I know exactly what you're talking about, and the feelings that I got when I was reading it are coming back again. I'm moving on.
Yes.
Okay.
Because my next one is much better.
Okay, I have
Amanda, it's Beartown by Frederick Buckman.
Okay, I have Legendborn and Bloodmarked, both by Tracy Dion. This is a King Arthur. It's not a King Arthur retelling, but it's kind of based around
Inspired.
King Arthur, and there's a group that considers themselves the knights and that kind, the Knights of the Round Table, that sort of thing. So it is all based around the King Arthur, the Arthurian legend, but it is very, very well written. It revolves around a young woman in college, person of color, who is inducted into the secret society and how she plays into it and that kind of thing. I thought they were very, very well written. So I love those. I went through them very quickly.
Okay. My next one, we're moving way off Beartown. Unlikely Animals. What's by Annie Hartnett? Yeah, Annie Hartnett. That was a strong contention on favorite of the year. I just love that book.
It's one of my 2 for favorite of the year.
It just
that one hit home on several different
Yeah.
areas. But just the whimsical quality of it
and the way of dealing with the harder things through the
right, and
whimsy.
the dementia
Yeah.
of the parent and that sort of thing. It just I cried so hard with that
Yeah.
book.
And I listened to it, and I was sitting in this chair, in this spot, listening to it, and it was just
Yeah. That is, if you have not read that it's such a good
Yeah.
book. It's really, really good. I did The Appeal by Janice Hallett. I thought it was a really interesting story. And she had this one revolves around a play that's going on, and somebody in the play dies and what happened and that sort of thing. It's just, I thought it was really, really well done. She uses reviews and emails back and forth and that kind of thing. So it's not just written out. It was an interesting way to present the story. I liked it very, very much.
It's a way some authors are going with, like a multimedia type
Right.
way of writing books, where they translate very well to Audible,
Yes.
so that you get the whole multimedia. I think you get the experience much better by listening,
Yeah.
rather than just like skimming over emails and that kind of thing.
I did listen to this. I also listened to her other one, which is the Twyford case. And I like that one very much, but there were a couple of holes in it that didn't give it the 5 stars for me. Okay.
My next one is The Measure by Nikki Ehrlich. That's a thought-provoking book.
Yes, it is.
That's a really good book. I like the characters very much. It came at a rough time
Right.
to read it, because it was when our youngest brother was in the hospital last year. And the whole thing is that everybody in the world receives a box with a tape that measures out the length of their life, and it's whether you open the box or you don't open the box. So that I was in a very
Fragile?
well,
state?
no, more. I was in the frame of mind to wonder would I open, would I not? An introspective
Yeah.
mood to go through whether or not I would, or whether he would.
I'm pretty
have.
sure I would. Just because I can't stand unopened boxes. I want to know what's inside.
I wouldn't.
I don't know. However, the ending of that book was beautiful and devastating and
Yeah.
just
Perfect.
It's a really, really,
Yeah.
really good book.
Jenny says it was a difficult book to read. It was, especially at the time I was reading it. But again, I was doing that one on Audible. But just I thought it was a great book.
It was. It was very, very good.
We are going to have in the show notes when this is done and gets put up as a rewatch, I'm going to put in the show notes the list of all the books that we're talking about. So.
Okay. All right. I have Harry's Trees by John Cohen.
That's
That one was just a man. Oh my God. There's
was
so
a
many
beautiful
books
book.
about loss.
yeah, we were doing
So many books about loss and not even picking them. But anyway, a man loses his wife and he goes and lives among the trees. And the people that he meets, there's a mother and a young daughter, and how he meets them and living in their tree and that kind of thing. And it's just, again, a beautifully, beautifully written book.
creepy, and it's not at all creepy.
No.
With him, because by saying that he lives in their tree, or it's not.
It's because it's not even their tree,
It's a
but
beautiful, beautiful.
it's the forest. He's in the forest that surrounds their house, but he's an arborist, and
There's a tree house that her husband had built for their daughter, and it's just
it's just,
it's a beautiful book.
it is. It's a wonderful book. So if you have not read that one, that's a very, very good one. Okay.
Wayward by Amelia Hart. That's where our feminist rage starts to come in.
Again, loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it, loved it, loved it. That's on my list too. It just start with an absolutely beautiful cover and these
Oh my
three
God, that cover. Yeah.
strong women.
Yeah.
Oh my God, these women. Love the women.
I'm leaving off the three that I'm going to do. So.
Okay. All right. I have Pretty as a Picture by Elizabeth Little. This was a thriller. It deals with the main character has almost on the spectrum qualities, autistic qualities, but not that it
More
prevents her.
psychopathic.
Okay, wait
I
a
would
minute. Isn't Pretty as a Picture the one about the movie?
No.
Okay.
No? Maybe?
I
Maybe
think
it is.
Pretty as a Picture is the one about the movie.
Okay, I'm getting it confused with the other one.
Because there was
Okay.
another one by her that we both read that I
Okay.
liked very much. But
Sorry.
I'm pretty sure this one is the one that's set on the movie set. Okay, so a young girl
Sorry,
was
I got it
murdered.
confused on another one.
A young girl was murdered on an island, and a film crew has gone to shoot a film about the murder, and while they're there, the girl who is playing the character that gets murdered is also murdered, and the film editor is a woman who is basically borderline on the spectrum, and she is trying to figure out what happened. And it's very, very, very well
it
done.
is.
It's really good to listen to because it just, you can feel the tension mounting
Yeah.
as certain scenes go by. And there are two younger girls, I think they're 12, 13, that kind of thing, that they want to have a podcast, a true crime podcast. So they keep interviewing her for
Right.
it. It's just, and how they play into it, they're great characters.
Yeah.
So it was really good.
She does good thrillers. So
There was another one by her that, let me see if I can find that, that we both read and liked very much as well, but that one does have the sociopath in it.
just search her. Yeah.
Dear Daughter.
Yeah.
That one is also very, very good. But that girl has problems. Okay, go
That whole
ahead.
family had problems.
Yeah.
Okay, so I jumped to Starling House by Alex Harrow. That was her newest release this year. Really, really good house.
Yeah.
Good sentient house.
Good people in it too.
Yeah, yeah.
But the house was
the
good.
house was really cool.
I love
So
that
that's
house.
Really good book.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alex Harrow is one of those that whatever she writes, I will read
She's
it.
an auto.
Yep. I will read it. Okay, I'm gonna go through a couple of mine because I have so many more than you.
Okay.
All right, so I have because I had there's Wayward. I have The Maid by Nita Prose. That was about, again, woman on the spectrum. But she is a maid in a very, very swanky hotel. And she lives with her grandmother, and when her grandmother dies, she kind of goes into a slump because she's not sure how to deal with everything. But then one of the guests in the rooms that she cleans winds up dead, and the wife is charged with it, and she doesn't think that the wife did it. So it was very well done. I thought it was really, really good. I did The Violin Conspiracy by Brendan Slocum. Did you do that last year?
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's a definite 5-star for me.
That was just an amazing, amazing book about a man who has this beautiful violin that gets stolen. And
Stradivarius.
when he's trying to figure out what happened to it, the history of the violin is coming into play.
So
And
you're running different timelines.
right.
There is towards the end a very, very rough scene.
Yeah,
So
it
and,
is.
and you can't go too much into what it is, but it's that was a hard thing to get through.
but
So,
it was key to the story.
yeah.
And I think it was not out of place.
Oh no, and
You know-
it wasn't on terror,
Written for the
Written
sake
for
of
the-
sensationalism
Yeah,
or
no,
anything
no,
like
it was
that.
just-
It was just
and it was also because I've heard him in interviews like, yeah, no, this really happened.
right.
So, wake up.
Right. Very, very, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. I have Una Out of Order by Martina Montemor. That is about the woman who wakes up every Christmas or New Year's Day in a different year of her life and not in chronological order. She, on the year that she is 18, she is at a New Year's Eve party. When she wakes up the year she is supposed to be 19, she is actually 52. And she's flip-flopping back and forth in time, leaving herself notes because she knows at the end of the year she will be a different age the next year. So she leaves herself notes just in case she's younger or older or whatever. It's so interesting, so cool, and the characters are so good. There was one that I wanted to be in it more, and he wasn't. I kind of hoped he would have been in it more because
okay.
he was a really, really good character. But unfortunately, he came too late in the book. So that was one of the books where when I got to the end of it, I was like, wait a minute. I want it to keep going. I don't want to finish. I want to find out more about her life because she doesn't do that many different chapters or different years. It's just, key points in her life, but it was good. Very, very good. I like that a lot. I have Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. That is about a girl whose father dies in a car accident, and her mother moves from California to Connecticut, and she finishes out her high school year in California, and then she has to get the family car from California to Connecticut, and she doesn't want to drive because she was in the car when her father died. So one of her mother's friend's son has to get over to the East Coast, so he drives. So that is how Amy and Roger join up together, and instead of going straight across and taking the 3 days that her mother has decided it takes much longer because they keep going off on detours. And it's really, really cool. There are little drawings in it, and there are playlists, and it's a cool book. It's really fun. So, all right, and then I'm going to do two more. I have The Nothing Girl and The Something Girl, both by Jodi Taylor. These books have such amazing characters. They're wonderful, wonderful characters. You just get totally wrapped up in them. You want to be a part of that group. They're the people that live on this little farm, and then they're the animals that they collect because they collect broken animals, and they're great. They're fantastic. So Jodi Taylor, also listen to them. I really enjoyed listening to both of them. Okay, do you want to go?
I don't know where. Oh, okay. In the Lives of Puppets by T.J. Klune. We were just talking about Alex Harrow being an auto. T.J. Klune is an auto for me. This one was right up there for the end of the year, but it didn't make it to my favorites. Just a wonderful book.
It is.
It is not, to me, as good as The House in the Cerulean Sea and Under the Whispering Door, which were the other two, like my 2021 and 2022 favorite books of the year.
Right.
But
April is just about to start it. And
Okay.
it's really
It is.
good.
The characters, as always, are just fantastic, and at the end, it's just. And he has a way of taking. There's usually one of the main group of characters where you don't particularly like them, their personality or anything like that at the beginning, and then by the end, you will die for them.
Yeah.
So.
They are fantastic.
Yeah, and these
Really,
are all.
really
There's
fantastic.
like one human and all puppets.
Robots
Not puppets,
and things
but
like that.
The robots, yeah. It just how he makes you feel for a robot.
I know.
Incredible.
This being that's not supposed to have any personality or anything like that,
Yeah.
and it's, oh my gosh, I will never look at our Roomba the same way again.
Carla says Nurse Ratched and Rambo were the best.
Yes, they are. They absolutely are.
Yeah, just Nurse Ratched.
Also, I see Rambo as like a puppy.
I see. Rambo to me was like Declan.
Just yeah, that's true. Like our 4-year-old nephew, absolutely perfect. Okay, I have on my list. I don't know if you put it on or not, but I have "This Is How You Lose a Time War" by Amar El Motar and Max Gladstone.
That didn't hit me as hard as it hit you. I did read it this year.
This is about two war correspondents going back and forth with each other, going back and forth in and out of time.
Well, they're not correspondents. I mean, they're corresponding with each other, but they're fighting each
Right.
other.
No, okay, so I'm mixing it up with one of my other ones.
Right.
Okay, it's not correspondence, but it is, they are corresponding with each other. And they are just, their job is to go in and out of time. One side is red, one side is blue, and tweak something tiny in time that will make something fall apart in the future for the opposite team.
Right.
So if you are on the blue team, you might go back in time and move one pebble out of the way, and that will cause somebody from the red team to trip and fall and lose that battle,
Right.
type of thing. It's that. But it's so weird and so different.
It's just
and
you spend half the book going, what the hell is going on?
that is true.
But it's so well written that you keep going.
And the feelings that they have for one another, I love
The epistolary.
the epistolary
Yeah.
novels. I love books that revolve around letters. So, yeah, no, that I really like that one
Yeah.
a lot. Okay, go ahead.
Next up for me is Tom Lake by Ann Patchett. That's just a warm hug of a book.
Oh my God.
Just wonderful characters. It's kind of set during COVID. It's a family that have a cherry farm, and they are all isolating at the cherry farm during COVID. And during that time, the mother is recapping her life, and mainly a summer that she spent in a summer stock theater production of Our Town. And I can walk through, in my mind, I know exactly where everything is on that cherry farm. I
Yep.
see that cherry farm. I see the path to the beach.
It's a
It's
really,
amazing
really good
what she
book.
can do.
Also, listen to
I
it.
was going to say, Meryl Streep read it to me, so there's
Listen
that.
to it. Definitely. That was my next one too. Okay, so I have Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. That is
That's
the
mine.
correspondence. And these are two war correspondents typing letters to each other. They have magical typewriters so that as long as they're typing to one another on the typewriters, whatever they type and put into the wardrobe will come out in the wardrobe where the other typewriter is. So,
Hold, please.
It looks like Drew is going outside. So, okay, I'm going to do one other book that I did that Helen hasn't read yet. So I know that it's not on her list as well. I read Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Baldree. This is the second book by him. It is a prequel to Legends and Lattes, which I read in 2022 and absolutely adored. So I was so excited when this one came out, and for me, it lived up to it 100%. I loved it. These characters are so fantastic. You are still with Viv, the orc, but this is before she makes it to her bookshop or her coffee shop. There's a Griffith, which is part griffin, like a baby griffin that is just, his name is Pot Roast. He's fantastic. There is a ratkin who she runs the bookshop. It's fantastic. It's really, really fantastic. I loved it so much. So he is another one that I will read just about anything until he proves me wrong, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Okay.
Okay, I have one more that's on your list, and then I have my 3.
Okay.
So this one it's a picture book. However, it's a wonderful picture book. So
It is.
It's Night Owl. It was the picture book that I gave Mary Beth for Book Vent by Christopher Denise. It's got gorgeous illustrations. It's a lovely little story, and everybody should read it.
They should. Especially if you like knights and dragons and pizza.
Right.
It's just, you should read it.
Yeah.
It's a great book. Okay. Then I have my last one that I have is the one that is actually going to win.
Okay.
So, what are your other 2?
So I picked 3 books. Okay, my favorite book of the year is a reread. So I had to qualify it because I wanted to also pick another favorite that was me reading for the first time.
Okay.
It was a new book. And in that I had 2 because I had one that was, it's the best book for how it made me feel at the time. It just made me smile in a time that I was not smiling. And I just smiled the whole time I read it.
What was that?
You've already done it.
Oh, okay.
And then the other one is one that's going to stay with me the longest.
Okay.
So the one that just made me smile all the time was The Nothing Girl.
It was a really hard time. It was a really hard time. And he made me feel the way John made me feel.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
It's a problem with live podcasts.
Okay.
I don't think it was a particularly, it's not like Anne Patchett writing or anything like that. But it's a totally different type of writing. And it's a comfortable book. It's a wonderful book. And every character in that book made me smile in one way or another.
Right.
Including the animals. So
she makes me feel, Jodie Taylor makes me feel like Rosamund Pilcher makes me feel.
okay.
And actually, you know what we're talking about. Amanda's read it too. She knows exactly what we're talking about. Rosamund Pilcher is my favorite book of the year because I reread Winter Solstice, and that is, she makes me feel the same way Rosamund Pilcher does about her characters. I will go in and fight for these characters. I want to live with these characters. I want to be a part of this book.
Right.
Which is why I picked The Winter Solstice as my favorite, because I want to be in that book. That's how much it meant to me.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Which was the one that's going to stick with you?
The one that's going to stick with me the most is Fierce Fairy Tales by Nikita Gill. And this is a retelling. It's a smaller book it's her take on a lot of fairy tales. There are, I think I have close to 10 pages in my book, my review book, of all the quotes and all the different, and it's a very feminist retelling. of it, and it's just, they will stick with me
Oh, yeah.
forever. So, and it's something I think every female should read.
It's a
So-
really, really good book.
And it's kind of, you go into fairy tales, what if we saved ourselves and we didn't wait for the prince?
We gave it to a couple of our friends.
Yeah.
Because we felt they needed it. Not that they needed it.
No,
That they get
everybody
to,
should read it,
everybody
yeah.
should enjoy this book.
So, and for being a compilation of several different stories, I think there were maybe one or two that were not like way up there, but everything was just like, oh my God, I have to write this down, or, oh, I got to get that quote or something like that.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay, somebody just came in from Ireland, and she and her twin have just...
Oh, they just purchased their first Rosman books. Which one?
Which one did you get? Because I have to tell you, I put Rosamund Pilcher and Maeve Binchy together on the same level.
Yeah.
One in England, one in Ireland.
Characters.
The two of them, I absolutely adore. I love just about everything that they write. The only thing I read, I think it was The Lilac Bus by Maeve Binchy, and the reason I didn't love it so much was because she didn't finish the stories. It's all short stories, and she didn't finish them, and I want to know what happens, But I put Rosamund Pilcher and, okay, so Winter Solstice is wonderful. It is absolutely wonderful. The Empty House, I don't know, so I'm going to go look for that because I want to read it. As I said, anything by them. Okay.
All right, so then, before we get to everybody else's favorite books,
Okay.
my favorite book of the year, I listened to The 10,000 Doors of January in the last week of the year, and there's just nothing that comes close to that book that I read this year.
It's a really good book.
I wrote 5+ stars. And I tried really hard because I'm like, it's a reread. It's the last, it's the most recent, one of the most recent finishes. Right. But no, it's the best book I read this year.
Well, I had Winter Solstice up against Unlikely Animals. And I kept weighing them back and forth because Winter Solstice was a reread. But it just, and maybe it's because I just finished it. I don't know. I just know that it is so, so deep in my heart right now that that's the one that I just kept coming back to. And I listened to it on Audible, and I did not like the narrator at all. I didn't like the way she did. If she was doing Elfrida, who was an elderly woman, then she was fine. But if she tried to do anybody else, God forbid she tried to do the American accent. It's just... Please stop. And children, don't do children. But, yeah, see, Amanda knows her children are awful. The book still just made me feel everything. The only thing that changed from the first time I read it and this past time was I know what happened at the end, so I was expecting it when I read it the first time. That was a kick in my stomach when I got to the end, just because of the beauty of how she ended it. So it's just, I loved it. So that's why it got chosen as the number one. So
for me, reading...
There is a tiny little fruit fly flying around
just...
that's just like, it's because we're getting to the end of our tea, and it's like they come for the end of the dregs.
With the 10,000 Doors of January, there are certain things that I picked up that I didn't necessarily focus in so much on when I read it the first time, and rage things again, but just...
I have to tell you, I'm really
okay.
kind of looking forward to listening to it again.
Yeah.
To listening to it.
It's sort of like when I listened to The Night Circus for the first time, as opposed to having read it a couple of times in the physical form. You just pick up certain things.
You do.
And it's such a good book.
It really, we have that. We have,
and I have a very bad dog. So.
It really resonates a lot.
He's not. He can be very bad, but He
is a
reminds me.
dog.
He reminds me of Bad from the book, and it's just so that there was. I did not when I read it the first time. I did not have Hugo, and Hugo and I have bonded the way she bonds with Bad, and
Yeah.
it's just.
Yes, Amanda, I think
Yeah.
so. We also have the Once and Future Witches that we downloaded for Audible, so that we're going to listen to that. I think we also did the Starling House too, didn't we?
We did hers, and then we did
TJ Clunes.
the Cerulean Sea and Under the Whispering Door, because we did all of those as physical books, and we learned, having done the Night Circus listening, it's a totally different experience from a book that you love so much.
Right.
And I'm interested to see, again, how much more do I get out of it? Do I love it as much? I think I love 10,000 Doors of January more,
Having listened to it and read it.
and, having a Hugo.
Well, having a Hugo changes everything. Okay, so we are now almost at an hour. We have done this for almost an hour. This is
So I
books.
just, if people have their favorite books of the year, and you want to just dump them in the comments.
Yeah, quickly, let us know what your
Right.
favorites were.
Just Me says her favorite book ever is Anybody Can Do Anything by Benny McDonald. Absolutely superb.
Okay,
We'll write that one down.
I'm going to start writing books down.
Also, I'm sure you can all hear Drusilla wants to come in now.
No, I think Winifred just walked across the street.
Oh, Winifred. April says House in the Cerulean Sea finally is her favorite. The audio version made the entire story for her, and it's already an amazing. Can't imagine having met the characters in any other way.
Okay,
That's one that I really look forward to doing.
So do
because
I.
love those characters.
well,
So those children. so
also
very
Under the
much.
Whispering Door, because
Yeah.
Hugo is under the Whispering Door. That's
Yeah,
where he came
that's
from.
where the name Hugo comes from.
So we have both of those to listen to, and I'm looking forward to them.
Oh, Lydia Berman was How High We Go in the Dark.
We did that
We
last
did that last year.
2022, not last year, the year before. We did that
Was
in
it 2022?
2022.
Okay.
That one again.
That was
written-
another one where it was just like, what the hell's going on?
Right, but
And
then it
as
all
they
comes
start to come
together.
together, and it's so weird and
But so well done,
Yeah.
and a couple of those stories will kill you.
yeah. Jenny says none of this is true by Lisa Jewell. That's on our list. That's on our
We have that
TBR
from
list. We have that from the book of the month. I like her stuff very much. She does good characters too, and good stories. So she kind of reminds me of like Maeve Binchy, but more with the mystery background. Though some of hers, the earlier ones, Vincent Joy there wasn't a mystery so much with that. But I love those characters. So I do like Lisa Jewell. So Mary Beth is giving the dogs treats. Because God forbid we come inside and not get treats. I've been talking for an hour and now I have nothing to say. Nothing to say at all.
Oops, sorry, man.
Hurry up!
Okay,
I'm sitting here staring at things.
Okay, I'm very sorry. Very sorry. I would have left them outside, except it's so
She gets
cold.
annoying.
Well, also it's so cold out that I don't like her being outside when it's
Yeah.
this cold. All right, did we just miss a comment?
Amanda says her Diamond Eye was by Kate Quinn, maybe her favorite from last year.
Oh, okay. Diamond Eye. All right.
Terry Johnson says Bright Young Women by Jessica Knoll was really great. Do we have that one? Is that the one?
Diamond Eye?
No, Bright Young Women.
We might. Kate Quinn.
Is that the one where they tell the bits of history from?
No, I think
kids?
that's Fierce Women.
Oh, okay.
Bright Young Women.
Lydia is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow.
We did that
That was actually, I think I did that.
the
It was
beginning
towards-
of last year.
It was towards the end. It kind of overlapped last year, around New Year's. I think I lost a lot of that book because I never really got into the gaming side, so that that whole section where they were in the game kind of lost me.
Right. Okay, this is an extraordinary novel inspired by the real-life sorority targeted by America's first celebrity serial killer.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right. I've heard a lot about that one. Okay.
So,
I think Annie from the Front Porch, it was one of her favorites because she grew up in the town where
okay,
it happened.
Bright Young Women. Okay. Okay, I think that we are just about done for today.
Yeah.
We will be back on Tuesday with our makes that we have been working on. People, come on. Anyway, we'll be back on Tuesday. We'll be showing you what we're doing and what we've been working on. I've started
finishes.
I've started a pair of socks. I have a finished pair of socks. I have 2 finished mitts, and I've started a 3rd pair of mittens because I'm doing them in our favorite books. So every time we put out a favorite books yarn, I am making either a pair of mittens or a pair of mitts out of them. So I have those to show you. I have a hat to show you that's out of December's Disney yarn. So we just have, Helen just finished an epic shawl
Yeah.
that we're going to show you. It's just,
We have a lot to show.
yeah. And we have new things cast on. It's
All the February, just admin stuff, all the February yarn clubs are open for purchase now. We listed those yesterday. So if you want to get the first one that's going to expire is the Denizens. So if you want to get that. We're going to be listing December's yarns this weekend.
Right.
So those will be ready on Tuesday when we maybe start showing the things done in them.
that we've been making out of them.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we have just a couple more. Natural Causes by Dr. Richard Shepard. Terry says that the beautiful Bright Young Women is probably the Ted Bundy story without saying his name, and she lives in Tallahassee where it happened. That's the one, and I'm pretty sure it's Annie. She does From the Front Porch audio podcast, and I'm pretty sure she raved about it because she also grew up in Tallahassee. So,
Okay.
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 And April says, happy weekend. Hopefully we get some snow. I think you have less of a chance. I'm pretty sure we're getting snow.
Hopefully not too much. There's talk about it turning over to rain, which I will be, when will we record ourselves reading books?
That never ever entered my head.
Never entered my head.
Thank you, though.
Yes, she says that we have lovely reading voices. Thank you very much. I don't know. I never even thought about it. So I really,
That threw her.
I read faster than my mouth works. So it's very hard because I trip up.
Yeah.
My mind goes faster than my tongue and I trip up on things. Okay. Anyway, about snow, I think they're talking about it turning over to rain, which fingers crossed it will do, because really I do not want.
I'm okay if we get a couple inches, just so the very bad dog can have his snow, because he
does love snow.
He loves snow.
Really loves it.
But if it could rain and then wash away before I have to deal with the mess, that would be fine.
Yes.
If I don't have to shovel, I'm happy.
We're good. Okay. We have been very, very spoiled, both with slightly warmer winters and living at the beach where even if it did snow, nobody was down, so nobody cared if
And
you
last year
shoveled your sidewalk.
we didn't get any snow here.
We only had to shovel once.
Yeah. And it was 3 inches. So
It was okay. It was something we could handle.
yeah.
All right. Well, we hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I hope you don't get caught up in too much bad weather. If you want snow, I hope it snows for you.
Stay warm and hibernate.
Yes. We're
I've been
looking
reading up
forward
on
to
hibernating. So
looking forward to curling up with some cross stitch, because we started our new cross stitches. So we're going to show you those on Tuesday too. But just curling up with a couple of blankets, a good movie. Oh, we did watch.
we do have to take a dead tree out of the house. But other than
Yes. We did watch the Harry Potter 20th anniversary show yesterday. That was really so much fun to watch
Yeah.
these actors come back to the sets and talk to one another, and for the 10th
And you see
anniversary.
them grow up.
Yeah.
Because you see them from, when they were first cast to them now as full-fledged adults. So it was fun.
It was, and Helena Bonham Carter just had so much fun with her character. She was Bellatrix Lestrange, and she just had a blast. So, anyway, it was just a joy to watch these actors talk about the craft and everything. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, all right. Oh, Lydia used to record audiobooks for the blind when she was younger. That's very kind of you.
Yeah.
That really is.
You never think of that.
No.
But
I read to the kids when I was little. When I was teaching, I used to read to them every day.
yeah.
We
Not
had
when you
it-
were little, when they were little.
when they were little. No,
When I was a little girl.
when I was younger and teaching, I would read. We would have a thing that if we got done by the end of the day and they got everything cleaned up and were sitting with their backpacks ready to go, then we would read a chapter of a book. And since we were usually reading Junie B. Jones, who was their age and a holy terror, they loved it. They absolutely loved it. I do remember reading The Secret Garden to them, and my aide had to finish because I couldn't finish it. I was
That's
trying
part
too
of my
hard.
problem too, is I'm an emotional reader and I'm an emotional creature, so
Yeah. All right.
I'd be reading something like, I can't believe you did this. Anyway,
It'd be so much worse than you're like, what the?
where the hell did that come from?
All right, guys. Have a wonderful weekend.
Go forth and create.
We will see you on Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.